Now, to a totally different story here is Bitcoin back to bite. The cryptocurrency has just shot up to its highest level in about a year, rising above $31,000 a coin on Friday. Now, Bitcoin is the world's largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization. It's up by about 87% this year. Its most recent gains appear to come after a wave of interest from financial giants, including BlackRock and Charles Schwab. But still, the renewed fervor for crypto comes against a backdrop of regulatory crackdowns. So, is now the right time to invest? Well, joining us with a breakdown is Brian Nibley, a cryptocurrency investing expert. So Bitcoin hit an all-time high of more than $60,000 back in 2021, and then it seemed to crash and burn. What happened here and what has changed now?
So the Bitcoin price, as measured in US dollars, tends to follow a 4-year cycle according to the halving, which is something built into the protocol where the oncoming supply gets cut in half again every 4 years. And so this is really par for the course. This has happened several times before in Bitcoin's 14-year history. And it's important to remember that the US dollar is not the only currency in the world, as I'm sure your viewers are certainly aware. And if you look at Bitcoin price in other currencies, such as the Turkish lira, it's a very different story, and the price tends to follow the devaluation of the currency. So in my opinion, it's not as important to focus on the price in any one currency, but rather to understand the fact that because Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million, it's more measuring the collapse of other assets and currencies than it is just a number go up factor.
Well, tell us about some of the financial giants who are making waves in this space.
Yeah, so BlackRock, Schwab, Fidelity, as you mentioned, are looking to file for the first spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States. And this would be a big deal because so far the only ETFs that have been approved have been futures-based, and you don't have actual access to the underlying Bitcoin, or there is no underlying Bitcoin. And this could be a real game changer for the market because anyone who deals with such an ETF, not only would shares be redeemable for the underlying spot asset, they could also be created and destroyed on a daily basis, which creates a very different market dynamic.
Well, despite the gains that we're seeing, I mean, there have been major warning signs. Earlier this month, the SEC sued Coinbase, which is obviously the U.S.'s largest crypto exchange. They said that it acted as a unregistered broker, and we also are seeing federal regulators suing Binance. They're accusing the company of operating an illegal exchange. So how worried should investors be?
Well, so there's two different classes of crypto assets. There's Bitcoin, which is clearly a crypto commodity, and then there's altcoins, which are clearly 99% of them at least are unregistered securities. So in my opinion, investors in Bitcoin have a lot less to be concerned about because a commodity in the US is regulated by the CFTC. Bitcoin has no issuer, so it's an entirely different regulatory issue, whereas these unregistered securities are much more difficult and much more illegal and immoral. And so anyone investing in those, in my opinion, should be very concerned. However, when it comes to the exchanges, I don't think we have too much to worry about.
All right, well, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us, Brian. That is it for Business Beat today. I'm Natasha.